Something very interesting is happening today with Bitcoin, because while the Bitcoin price struggles to break back above the 200-day simple moving average, which is not weird, that's actually very normal. We've seen Bitcoin struggle with the 200-day SMA throughout its history, but once that breakout does occur and we get the confirmation of the breakout, the trend is your friend, price action tends to keep going up. And while there's huge news today involving Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and lower cap altcoins, watch today's whole video to have an edge investing in crypto. Will Bitcoin drop lower to that next line of support in the low $70,000 range? Or what should we expect next? Well, the news today is this: US Bitcoin ETFs break their outflow streak with 13.3 million in inflows, meaning institutions have started to buy again for the first time in a week. And while over $1.67 billion exited US spot Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs in March, at least the first part of March, investors have finally stopped the bleeding by bringing in $13.3 million on March 12th, as the BTC market price inched closer to $85,000. Something to note, and Altcoin Daily will share this with you. Other channels will just share with you the headlines. I'll share with you the perspective that on March 12th, we did just see our first day of inflows after days and days and days of outflows, but we did have one day of inflows on March 5th, as well as one day of inflows on February 28th, and every other day with outflows. Meaning just because institutions bought the dip today doesn't mean we have a streak yet. We need more information. And just in, Senator Cynthia Lummis's Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Bill is now on Congress government's website. So anybody can go to congress.gov or type in S.954 or look up a Senator Cynthia Lummis sponsored bill and see right now we are in the introduction phase. Again, this bill is for the US government to buy 1 million Bitcoin over the next 5 years without using any taxpayer money. Anybody needing a refresher on exactly what that bill means to you and me and the US government, check out this video. US Congress just released the Bitcoin and crypto bulls. Anyway, this bill is now in the introduction phase, then it has to pass the Senate, then pass the House, then go to the president, and then become law. Let's keep checking back in on this. I will keep you updated. And while you may say Bitcoin adoption in the US, maybe you'd say 5%, maybe even 8%. I don't think it's 10%. But Bitcoin's adoption globally, more than just the US, is only at 3% worldwide. Meaning Bitcoin in 2025 today is like online banking in 1996 in terms of the adoption percentage, or social media in 2005, or the internet in 1990. Send this to the person that thinks it's still too late to buy Bitcoin. And where this next wave of money comes from, at least institutionally, I loved this 60-second clip from Natalie Brunell's Coin Stories podcast with Bloomberg ETF expert James Seyffert educating that wirehouses will be recommending Bitcoin ETFs for the next wave of adoption, and they have barely started.
What do you think people should be paying attention to?
I mean, the next big wave of adoption is kind of what we've already talked about. Corporations possibly buying this. Obviously, nations and states potentially adding this to their balance sheet is another big thing. But for the ETF side of things, it's really those wirehouses, those advisors. They control trillions of dollars of assets. Right. Like they're the people that manage the money of the really wealthy people, right? So these advisors, these wirehouses, these brokers, they control the money of the centimillionaires, billionaires, you name it. And they are like potentially the next wave of adoption for these Bitcoin ETFs.
And what's next for Ethereum? Well, just in as of yesterday, the SEC has acknowledged filings to permit staking for both Fidelity and Franklin spot Ethereum ETFs. This is a monumental signal to me. I think if/when this gets permitted and the Ethereum ETFs allow you to have that passive income on top of just buying and holding, this is going to usher in. This is going to be way more appealing for the institutional investor who likes the yields of investing in stocks and dividends, etc. This also is a major signal to me because staking, which was seen as maybe not allowed under Gary Gensler, under Joe Biden, it was seen as a security. Permitting staking is a big signal that they're going to support these public blockchains. And what about Solana? Solana price bottom below $100. The death cross hints at a 30% drop. And this is really interesting, and I want to share this with you because a member of the Altcoin Daily Army should be in the know. We should be smarter than the average investor with perspective like this. A death cross is when a shorter term simple moving average crosses below a longer term simple moving average. Typically, the 50-day crosses under the 200-day, signaling short-term into long-term bearish price momentum, just like a golden cross signifies when the 50-day crosses above the 200-day simple moving average, signaling bullish price momentum. Last month, the 50-day and the 200-day exponential moving averages, EMAs, which is basically the same thing as a simple moving average, the only difference is an EMA gives more of a weight to the more recent timeframes. But last month, these two moving averages triggered a death cross on Solana's one-day chart, which prices dropped 17% at the time. So now that we're seeing this with the simple moving averages, if you hold Solana, how should we think about this? Well, let's look at the data for ourselves, because I just don't want to read some headline. I want to confirm this. I want to see the data for myself. I like trading with exchange partner Bitchunex because they have better liquidity, so that's what I use. And first off, we're going to switch this from BTC to Solana. We're going to see the moving averages. Right now, we have the simple moving average 200-day already on. We're going to go up to indicators, add another SMA, or just MA, moving average. Good, we got a new one. And let's switch this out. Instead of 9, we have the 200, so we'll go 50-day moving A. Let's switch the color to yellow. And we see the 50-day moving average, simple moving average in yellow, just crossed underneath the 200 SMA. The death cross has already happened. And just to be very real with you, headlines like this, when the death cross has already happened, are meant to scare retail. They're meant to scare newbies who don't really understand this, because both a death cross and a golden cross is a trailing indicator, meaning, and you can look back on this with Bitcoin death cross and golden crosses or Solana death crosses, by the time it happens, the price already has reacted. So this is a trailing indicator because the price action moves into it, in this case to the negative, right? We see a death cross happened back at the end of 2024 and price already tanked into that death cross. By the time the death cross happened, we just kind of chopped around a bit. And at the same time, we see a golden cross happened later in 2024 and price rallied into that golden cross. And by the time the golden cross happened, we tanked. Click the like button if you appreciate this perspective. And by the way, anybody trading and wants to sign up for Bitchunex, use code Altcoin Daily for over $8,000 in newbie benefits, basically trading bonuses up to $8,000. I think basically $20 you get immediately, and then the more you trade, the more benefits you get. But let's say you sign up with referral code Altcoin Daily and you get $20 immediately. Why not use that if you're bullish on Solana, long Solana since the death cross has already happened, or if you're bearish, short Solana? Just be sure when you're setting up your trades, one, keep it isolated, not cross-isolated. It's just safer. Take the leverage to something way more manageable. You can go up to 100, but not recommended. And then set your take profits and set your stop losses, right? You just type it in. So if I wanted to long Solana and I wanted to set my take profit right back up above the support that we saw right around, let's go a little under it. Let's say 175 Solana. That's where you put the take profit in, 175. And of course, if you're wrong, set your stop losses to something equally manageable. Link down below, check it out. And in the last 24 hours, the SEC delays decision on the XRP, Solana, Litecoin, and Dogecoin ETFs. And according to the ETF analysts at Bloomberg, James Seifert and Eric Balchunas, nothing to worry about. Yes, the SEC just punted on a bunch of altcoin ETF filings, including Litecoin, Solana, XRP, and Doge. It's expected, as this is standard procedure, and Atkins, the SEC chair, hasn't even been confirmed yet. This doesn't change our relatively high odds of approval. Also note that the final deadlines are not here yet. And big news for DePIN altcoin Aethir. Excited to announce that Ocean Protocol is joining the Aethir cloud ecosystem to fuel the future of AI and DeSci, meaning more protocols are signing up to use Aethir, making the Aethir ecosystem bigger. We are splashing our compute grants for AI builders tackling oceans data challenges and fast-tracking AI projects' access to Aethir's $100 million ecosystem fund, meaning Ocean, with this partnership, more easily gets compute, as well as some Ocean projects tap into the ecosystem fund. And by the way, very interesting, Coinbase just announced they're listing Aethir, which to me is just significant because we've just been talking about Aethir and keeping you updated for so long. Coinbase is finally seeing the potential. And big news for Everreach Labs, which I'm an ambassador. We are proud to announce that Everreach Labs has been chosen as one of our top 100 startups in the Paris Blockchain Week startup competition, meaning crypto gaming is not dead. Certain crypto games are still implementing. Chosen from over 100,000 applicants, we are honored to be recognized as a top Web3 gaming startup as we build our flagship game, Revenge. And to me, this makes sense just looking at some of these metrics. Even though crypto gaming isn't really in the news right now, not a lot of people are talking about it, look at these metrics. Revenge is on track to become one of the biggest Web3 gaming launches of the year, with over 500,000 plus pre-registrations for early access, top 20 most wish-listed games on Epic Games, and 550,000 plus wallets connected and active users on the Everreach terminal. To me, it just looks cool. I think it looks cool, but cool to see the growth. And quick piece of adoption news for Ripple XRP. Ripple bags Dubai license to offer crypto payments in the UAE. So this will add many more users on the Ripple ledger with the Ripple stablecoin, potentially using XRP. Ripple has received approval from the Dubai Financial Services Authority to provide regulated crypto payments and services in the UAE, making it the first blockchain-enabled payments provider licensed by the agency. And this is big, and this is a continuation for Ripple, as Ripple has seen increasing demand in the Middle East, with around 20% of its global customer base operating in the region, and of course fully regulated, fully compliant. Ripple's DFSA license adds to its over 60 regulatory approvals worldwide, including licenses from the Monetary Authority of Singapore, New York Department of Financial Services, Central Bank of Ireland, and multiple US states. If you got value in today's video, give it a like. It helps support me. It makes me feel good. It lets me know you appreciate these videos. And like always, I will see you tomorrow.